When we get come, it go solve light, water, road, and security problems. And finally, it go bring peace to Rivers State. So make we give am our total support. Winke, His Excellency Winke. Winke, His Excellency Winke. Cause the number Alaye Renese Winke.
Rivers people we dey see am, we get dey walk oh. Everybody we dey feel am, we get dey walk oh. Man wey dey walk well, walk hard and walk fast to make Rivers State better. We get dey walk oh. Rivers people we dey see am, we get dey walk oh. Everybody we dey feel am, we get dey walk oh. Man wey dey walk well, walk hard and walk fast to make Rivers State better. We get the walk oh. We dey see am, we get the walk oh. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk oh. Man wey dey walk well, walk hard and walk fast to make Rivers State better. We get the walk oh. Rivers people we dey see am, we get the walk oh. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk oh.
Governance without political economy is rulership and not leadership. In modern times, government generally tries to lead rather than rule over their people. Thus, there is a constant engagement and exchange of ideas between government and the people to make society work. And for society to work optimally, there has to be structures and superstructures that support security, rights of the citizenry, education, and employment, amongst others. Perhaps second to the right to life is the right to be gainfully employed, for economic freedom is the key to all other freedoms. He who pays the piper dictates the tune, and a dependent adult is a child forever, easily manipulated by the unscrupulous rich. What is more, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Therefore, for society to be safe and secure, those who are able and capable, especially the young adults, need to be gainfully employed, otherwise the result is disaster. Northeast Nigeria is grappling with this fact right now. The Wike administration understands this. That is why it has mapped out sustainable employment models for the state by creating a pool of entrepreneurs that will grow the next generation of small and medium-scale enterprises that will launch the state into the path of development. To kickstart this, ESCO has approved the sum of 200 million naira monthly interest-free loans for youth and women with bright business ideas to access and grow their businesses. The Currently, there are two forms of employment in the state, which are sustainable employment and temporary employment. Temporary employment is to mop up the pool of unemployed youths in the society, while the sustainable employment provides loans for youths and women to create entrepreneurs who will develop small and medium-scale enterprises that will be the backbone of economic development in the state, because these small and medium-scale enterprises will employ a lot of people. On the other hand, the government will benefit from taxes paid by these entrepreneurs to develop the state, as the internally generated revenue will improve and the state will be more secure when the bad guys are all gainfully employed. It is a win-win situation for the government when they employ and empower the youth. Youth unemployment rate in Nigeria increased to 33.10% in the third quarter of 2017 from 29.50% in the second quarter of 2017. Youth unemployment rate in Nigeria averages 21.73% from 2014 until 2017, reaching an all-time high of 33.10% in the third quarter of 2017 and a record low of 11.70% in the fourth quarter of 2014. Youth, women employment, and job creation have been given top priority on the developmental agenda of the Rivers State government since its inception on May 29, 2015. The 2018 budget gave eloquent testimony of Governor Wike's vision on job creation for women and young prospective entrepreneurs. The project exponents made a phantom provision for youth and women empowerment in the budget to drive a new agenda on job creation. Job creation, the Governor Wike's approach goes beyond providing white-collar or blue-chip jobs, as was the case.
Through the office of the Deputy Governor, in partnership with the Ministry of Women Affairs, they've been carrying on entrepreneurial trainings and startup pack, for Rivers women through this ministry. I think if you go through the ministry statistics, you also see how much they have done with this regards. As I speak to you, also in partnership with the Rivers State Microfinance Agency, I think that program is still ongoing. Then again, you agree with me that some time ago, we had something on the air about His Excellency's intention with the partnership with the Real Madrid. He went further from intention to reality when he signed the partnership MOU with Real Madrid for a sports academy in Rivers State. That's again a deep extent, because you agree with me that sports is a huge generator of labor, because it's one skill or talent that the youths will do with a lot of passion being attached to it. And one of the problems we're having in terms of creating jobs, you agree with me, is trying to see people being passionate for what they do. So the Real Madrid Academy is supposed to go a long extent in engaging Rivers youth, of course, which through their talent and their skills, they would have seen the platform for them to excel through that. And any moment from now, the academy will physically, be launched open for people to see and enroll. Now, if you also carry on to the issue of road decongestion, lately the governor just inaugurated a committee to say that the issue of street trading comes with a lot of vices, apart from the fact that it depletes, the physical environment of the state. Again, you agree with me that lots of information goes on through these people on the road. We don't know who is who. So insecurity in the state that flies straight information most times. You see that some of those persons, you see a full-grown man standing in traffic. What is he selling? He's selling maybe rope that if you put together will not even be up to 2,000 naira. Then you start wondering, is this person really trading, or this person is here for information? So I think to that extent is a welcome development, but it didn't stop at that. That also is supposed to create employment of 2,000 youths that will be engaged for this decongestion task force on daily basis.
Job creation, the Governor Wike's approach goes beyond providing white-collar or blue-chip jobs, as was the case in the past. The vision of the state chief executive on job creation is to create a new generation of entrepreneurs that will create jobs for themselves and many others. This paradigm shift is what the young people need in this era of economic meltdown. The recent announcement of 200 million naira monthly free interest loan to traders and young entrepreneurs gives a flip to this vision. The Governor Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike-led administration haven't decided to set aside the 200 million naira monthly interest-free loan to traders and young entrepreneurs hopes for a more robust economy for the state. A total of 10,000 women from the 23 local government area to be financially supported to improve their respective businesses. The fund is to be disbursed evenly. A total of 2,000 young men have been recruited to work with the state government to stop illegal street trading in Port Harcourt and its environs, and another 1,000 women for the regular sanitation of Port Harcourt and its environs. Our performing governor has given youth and women empowerment a prominent place in his developmental agenda for Rivers State. This is further exemplified in the 2018 budget, where a large chunk of money is appropriated for youth and women empowerment.
Now, if we go over to look at the index of the unemployment rate and the misery rate that was released last time, you would agree with me that we should be very afraid at this moment in time to imagine that if our statistics for the unemployed and the misery index is that way, that for those of you that knows how to see these statistics analysis to actions, you agree with me the kind of crime that we should be looking at in a state that has such unemployment rate and misery index. But you agree with me that this again expresses how much vigor and energy His Excellency has been putting on ground to see things being achieved to this extent. Because if you look at that amount of misery rate and index rate, you agree with me that, of course, the devil's mind, they say, is the idle mind, they say, is the devil's workshop. You agree that we should be looking at some serious organized syndicate crimes in the state. So it takes a whole lot to fight crime at the same time. See that misery and index rate for the unemployed that was brought up by the Bureau for Statistics is reduced. You also agree with me that to the extent at which the figure has risen to, no matter what you do and how practical it is, you need time for it to be evident that yes, a particular numbers of youth has been reduced from this level of index statistics that we have. So to this regard, His Excellency over the last few months gave an approval after the Executive Council meeting for 200 million naira monthly that is supposed to be spread across entrepreneurs and SMEs for on-lending. Now, this is going to come to them as a facility without interest, without collateral.
As a result of recent statistics released by the National Bureau of Statistics on youth ranking Rivers State top of the misery scale of Nigeria, the state government has given further vigor to youth empowerment. Indeed, the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that 34.02 million people were either unemployed or underemployed in the third quarter of 2017. The National Misery Index now stands at 3.7% to 55.90. The state's economic activities are concentrated on oil and gas, which involves automated processes and requires low human capital. Misery Index is an economic indicator created by economists which measures the well-being of the average citizen. This looks at the purchasing power of income, the case of getting paid work, and the quality of available jobs. Indeed, unemployment plus underemployment plus inflation equals misery index. Thus, Rivers State has unemployment and underemployment figure of 61.1 with a misery index of 79.9%. To redress this ugly scenario in Rivers State, our governor took a bold step to enhance capacity for the unemployable and employable from tertiary institutions by setting up a scheme called the New Hope Project.
Luckily for us, the Commissioner of Education is here, and so we reached an agreement with the academy so I will know the number of youths we will send to this place for training. For us, we believe that we are going to make our environment business friendly, and therefore we are harmonizing taxes and levies to be paid, unlike what used to happen, where you have multiplicity of taxes from local government and states. This time around, we are not going to allow that. And so I believe that what you call higher taxes or taxation may not come from the state government, but because we don't even know those who are coming for such taxes. This time around, you will know what you will pay and where you will pay it. Before people come with all kinds of things, we are willing, we have the political will, we will fight it, we will not allow it to continue to affect businesses in this state. Give our people more opportunities, give our people more jobs, give them management positions. Not when MD comes, it comes from outside. We have people in Shell who have capacity to be managing directors of Shell. So I don't want to hear every time we support our community, we are giving you scholarship, we will not die just because of scholarship. Give us prominent positions in Shell and other companies, because we have those who have the capacity to occupy such positions.
Now, for all of the jobs we're seeing in terms of infrastructure that's going on in the state, which even earned him the name Mr. Projects, like people always call him, there was a standby directive from His Excellency to all of the companies that gets this award and all of the executioners of this job, to be sure that from the extent of managers to structure to labor forces, they use Rivers Indigene. So if you look around and see the numbers of roads, the numbers of infrastructure that is being put in place by His Excellency, then you now begin to wonder the amount of youth that's been engaged through this part. Because of course, like we all know, he's a man that's always on his project site, and when he's there, one of the things he does is looking out at the crowd. Sometimes he even goes questioning them directly, where are you from, just to be sure that that directives is being kept to it. So if you consider the amount of project that's been running in the state, then of course we leave the answers for you to how many of the youth that have been engaged through this means.
The Reap Jobs platform that the state ESCO has approved, which will be launched in the course of this month, May. The Reap Jobs platform is basically a platform that enables all unemployed youths in the state, okay, to actually put up their CVs and their profiles online. The platform not just will take the unemployed youths alone, but will also accommodate employers of labor. So it's a marketplace, as it were, where employers of labor and those seeking employment can actually meet. So if you put up your CV there, and then I post a vacancy in my organization, what happens is that if you meet it, then we are able to meet and then discuss. All right. If I like the terms, you like my terms, you come on board. Okay. If you don't like my terms, you may like the terms of some other people. With this, the state government is able to know all the people that are unemployed in the state. Okay, whether you are an indigene or you're a resident. Okay, so all employers of labor are meant to use the platform to do what? To employ in the state. So it's a state policy that the state ESCO has also adopted. Okay, so that's for the Reap Jobs. Now, but beyond that, we are also looking out for what is making our youth not to be employed. So on the Reap Jobs, we also have the employability training platform. So there are videos, there are books, there are slides and presentations that are also coming on board the platform that will help people to be trained so that they can actually be employable.
As a takeoff of the New Hope project, the Rivers State government will create 23,000 jobs for 23,000 youths in the 23 local government areas of the state, and thousands of youths to be trained in ICT programming.
The ICT sector is the sector that, to a large extent, most times when I speak, I say it is the sector that belongs to the youth. All around the world, the people that have changed, the tide of things, in the sector are all youths. Okay, from the one of Facebook to when the case started to You know, when Amazon started and the rest of them, you know, it's basically youths you find, you know, young people in their early 20s and then of course, you know, in their early 30s that come up to get things done. So it's a space that we have, and it is a space that is exclusive, played by the youth. Okay, so we'll try as much as we can to have that basic understanding of the sector.
Transamadi Industrial Area has been revamped. The Governor Wike-led administration has revamped the Transamadi Industrial Area, where a lot of companies prior to the inception of this administration folded and left, leaving many unemployed, walking the streets and posing as threat to other road users. Some companies are currently revamped to employ and take some people off the streets. The industrial estate has begun to host investments. This will boost the economy and create more jobs for the teeming army of unemployed youths. Giving life to his vision for the state, our amiable governor, Nyesom Wike, empowered an executive task force to help in nipping street trading in the bud, with direct employment given to thousands of women whose job would be to keep the streets of Port Harcourt permanently clean, thereby returning it to its girding city status. A cursory look and a drive around Rivers State reveals different project sites, and our performing governor has instructed and ensured that every project comes with its employment package for the benefit of the people of the area and the state. The 2018 Appropriation Bill is christening the budget of consolidation, advancement and empowerment because it is to consolidate and advance the state's investment in infrastructure, education, healthcare, security, as well as grow the economy to create jobs and empower people. Over 9 billion naira out of the 510 billion was budgeted for the support and empowerment of youths and women in the state. A breakdown of the budget reveals that every other aspect of the budget is structured towards empowering the people of the state.
We shall continue to encourage, support, and attract private sector investments, both local and foreign, in the diverse sectors of the economy to create well-paying jobs, reduce poverty, and improve the economic conditions of our people. Finally, having substantially reduced our exposure to the multilateral debt obligations, we intend to ensure that internal and external borrowing are kept within reasonable levels and channel a major part of our capital expenditures toward funding strategic infrastructure, healthcare, education, and other priority programs to accelerate economic growth, expand economic opportunities, and empower our people.
The government should be given a chance because we cannot say the issue of decay of unemployment in our society will be a time frame between 1 to 3 years, which the government is not even up to the first, term in office, and all of these strikes is being penned down. Then you agree with me that if carrying on to get to the next dispensation, all of this foundation that we're laying now gets to hold on. You agree with me that it will yield a whole lot of results and employment generation for Rivers youth to this extent.
With this, the state government is able to know all the people that are unemployed in the state, okay? Whether you are an indigene or you're a resident, okay? So all employers of labor are meant to use the platform to do what? To employ in the state. So it's a state policy that, the state ESCO, has also adopted. Okay, so that's for the real jobs.
Our purpose-driven governor is rewriting the narrative of Rivers State and has put in place various measures to employ and empower the people of the state. As we can all see and do testify, Governor Wike is working.
The general supervisor of this money. From this May, apply, they will tell you how much you're entitled to apply. And nobody, you are not going to pay any interest, just to help you. And you pay back in 2 years time. Even those of you who are doing businesses on your own, apart from this civil servant's own, apply for the 2.something billion for traders and young entrepreneurs. that your civil servant does not make you to be an entrepreneur. Does that stop you? Apply for it. We will tell the union the number that should be allocated to you. You are entitled to it. Labour Congress in the state, TUC, you cannot have a secretariat up to now. For how many years in Rivers State? Even somebody comes and lays foundation and goes, and another person comes and adds blocks, another person comes and adds blocks. By now you have had a secretariat. But I will be the secretary for you.
Rivers people, we dey see am, we get the walk. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk. Man when they walk well, walk hard and walk fast, to make Rivers State better. We get the walk. Rivers people, we dey see am, we get the walk. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk. Man when they walk well, walk hard and walk fast, to make Rivers State better. We get the walk. We dey see am, we get the walk. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk. Man when they walk well, walk hard and walk fast, to make Rivers State better. We get the walk. Rivers people we dey see am, we get the walk. Everybody we dey feel am, we get the walk.
When we get on, it go solve light, water, road, and security problems. And finally, it go bring peace to Rivers State. So make we give them our total support. His Excellency Wike, cause the number and the Alaye Renese Wike, Asubike the press handle.